Welcome to the Linguava podcast, the invisible profession, where we give you tools, tips, and resources in medical interpretation and translation that help bring to life our profession and ultimately help improve health outcomes for the limited English proficient and deaf and hard of hearing community. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a real honor to have you with us and get to learn a little bit more about what you're doing and the impact you're having on the community. If you can start off just by sharing a little bit about who you are and some of the work that you do at Disability Solutions.
Sure. So my name is Kevin McCloskey. I'm the Senior Director of Partnership Development with Disability Solutions. So Disability Solutions is it's a great company we work for. Basically, we are what we call a consulting arm of a nonprofit called Ability Beyond. So Ability Beyond has been around in the Connecticut, New York area for over 60 years, providing excellent service to people with disabilities. So we have residential facilities, we have back to work programs, we have day programs, you name it, we're probably doing it in the disability field. So we decided about 9-10 years ago that we saw a huge opportunity with employers to really educate them on the benefits of hiring people with disabilities, and also an opportunity to educate them. So a lot of education up front, and then really help them put together a program that could be successful to go out there and actively recruit, hire, and retain talent with disabilities.
When we talk about disabilities, just for the whole community who's listening this morning, if you had to, in a couple of sentences, describe what is a disability.
Sure. Yeah, that's one of the first things we start with when we do our trainings with companies. Is disability is large. Like the definition itself really affects your major life activities. So kind of the stigma around disabilities is might be someone in a wheelchair, someone who has autism. When there's all these different disabilities out there, 70% of disabilities are actually invisible or not readily noticeable. So employers are always thinking about what are we going to do? We hire this person with disability. Are we going to need an accommodation? We're going to need this something. This what are we going to do to accommodate that individual? When really, people with disabilities are mostly just like me and you. They are come from any color background. I like to say that disabilities don't discriminate. They could factor in anyone. And there's different types of disabilities out there. So when you're actively thinking about hiring people with disabilities, I guarantee you have people with disabilities working for you right now. And our mission here is to prove that anyone with a disability can do the job just as good, if not better, than those without disabilities. And we've proved it.
Amazing work that you guys are doing there at Disability Solutions. This month right now is Disability Awareness Month. For you and the work that you do and the support and advocacy that you're a part of, what does this month mean to you personally?
It means a lot. So again, our motto is changing minds, changing lives. And we realized very quickly when we started Disability Solutions that education needs to be a huge part of the program. We're not just going out and hiring people with disabilities just to do it, or it's not a charity model. It's really you have to understand the best way to do it and put together a successful program. So I love creating awareness of people with disabilities. Like I said before, one of the biggest things I talk to people and employers about is that 70%, you have people with disabilities working for you now, and they're going to bring some really great, unique talents to the table when they come for employment. And again, so that the awareness we do is very important. I remember one time we worked with an employer and they titled our training, I'm not going to be able to remember this right now, but they titled our training something like, man, I wish I remember the name of it, but it was something like it was to be scared, like you did something wrong. So now we got to do this training where we're like, we're just going to come here. We're going to dispel some of those fears and stigmas around people with disabilities, especially when it comes to employment, and just really give you as an employer some really better tools for your toolbox to be able to go out there and successfully do it. So it's my favorite part of the job is awareness and watching those light bulbs jump into people's heads or come up to me after a training and be like, I had a disability. I didn't even realize it. And I don't check the box that I'm a person with a disability or get involved at all. So education is a key piece of what we do. So I'm glad to bring awareness to it today.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic that you're bringing that awareness. And for us at Linguava and the language access space, we're in a similar way. I feel like we're bringing awareness and education to many people. We specialize in medical field, so medical providers of how to best provide language access to the limited English proficient communities or deaf and hard of hearing communities. Can you share or think of a story where you've seen, language access maybe in the interpreting space with the deaf and hard of hearing community have a significant, impact on someone's ability to succeed?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a few stories actually. So we've had some success. I was out in Las Vegas, I want to say 6 years, 6, 7 years ago, working with a company to open a brand new facility and help them. They wanted to hire people with disabilities a lot into the facility. So we work with several different groups out there. One that comes to mind is the College of Southern Nevada had a great program for helping people who are deaf or hard of hearing employed. So we work with them a lot. And one thing we did is we put them through a training. So this company had basically machinery. The jobs were putting together or taking apart machinery and putting it back together. So we had individuals come in and we had interpreters. And more importantly, I love the way these individuals were working with each other to help each other figure it out on the floor. And as far as it goes with interpreters, we had two gentlemen that were hired onto this company and obviously need interpreters there a lot at first. But what we realized early on is they taught the company a lot more than the company taught them. So they would come in and actually host some morning meetings, and they would teach their staff or teach their coworkers a new sign every day that was related to work. So when they're on the floor, they were able to talk. They were able to teach these individuals on the floor some signs that were actually helping them on the
Mm.
job. So they need interpreters there all the time. But they would come in for trainings and whatnot. And we also saw just like camaraderie of their coworkers come together and help them sign some stuff to them during those meetings or write out some notes to help them. So we saw some great success there. Accessibility teams, so we were teams and Zooms. They have the subtitles there now, so you
Hmm.
work it on.
Yeah.
Another thing is the barriers. Like it's not. I mumble a lot, so I see my words pop up and they're wrong. So it's also helping me as a human being to be able to realize that to be fully accessible, I gotta make some changes too to accommodate the individuals that need to understand what I'm saying. So just the technology and some of the things been done over the last 5 to 10 years in the disability space has really given a great opportunity to people who have these wonderful skills and experience and are able to do the job. So this technology, interpreters all around, is just it's a great tool to help people get where they should be able to get.
Yeah, and Kevin, I've heard such amazing things about your trainings, and I've gotten to not experience them directly, but watch some of your trainings online. And for those who might be interested in receiving a training or reaching out and connecting with you, what's the best way they can find you?
Sure. So our website is disabilitytalent.org. We have all our resources up there. We just launched actually a training portal, so you can go on and click and take a training right there on the website. We also do them live. Obviously, before the pandemic, we were out on the road all the time doing this training. So we do them live. We do them via Zoom on webinars, and we also have the learning management system for individuals to go on. So that's at disabilitytalent.org. You can also find our blogs and our podcasts about everything related to disability, especially disability employment.
If you could just give us one call to action for the audience today.
I said this a lot before, but we're Disability Solutions, and we go to, let's say, a career fair, or we go to a big event, a conference. Individuals will speak to the booth next to us, and then they'll look at us, read our name as Disability Solutions, and then they keep on going. They don't want to have that conversation. It's uncomfortable for people, and it's okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable. But what I say is, this is disability awareness, right? So just jump in. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
It's a huge talent pool out there. If you're an employer, I'm sure you're having a hard time finding talent. We've had a lot. The last 2 years for us have been great because companies are really starting to realize we need to look at other resources to find employment, and people with disabilities is an untapped pool of talent. So again, just dive in. Don't be afraid. Get some education, and just take that first step. I think that's really important to educate yourself. Take that first step, and then you'll see all the wonderful things that come with recruiting and hiring people with disabilities.
Yes. Well, you all heard it. If you have questions, educate is the best way. Jump in the pool and reach out to Kevin and be able to ask him questions directly. And he has a lot of great trainings and resources. So Kevin, thank you so much again for your time this morning. Really appreciate what you're doing
Thank you,
in the
Dan. Appreciate
disability
it.
community, and we'll look forward to connecting again soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.